Coming up on Harvest Eating, I'll show you how to take some simple fall ingredients, combine them with some simple techniques, and make my heirloom pork with apples, hard cider, and fresh sage. All right, folks, getting right into it. These are heirloom Granny Smith apples. You need a nice firm apple here. You can't use, a wimpy soft apple. So get a nice firm apple and peel them. Then you just want to cut them in half, and in this case I'm just using the melon baller, but if you've got one of the old-fashioned coring devices, use that or whatever you need to do to get these apples prepared. And that just means coring, peeling, getting the stem out of there, and then you don't need to worry too much about their shape. We just make I don't know, 3/4 inch chunks out of them because they're going to cook for a long time in the pot and really break down anyway. And that's why you want to start with some firm apples, and these have the right tartness. So once that's done, onion is peeled. Again, don't worry too much about making any kind of a fine dice. Just cut them up into chunks, and then you're ready to proceed. Now, let's talk a little bit about the pork. Now, look at the color of that pork. That is some rich and delicious heirloom pork. Those are Berkshire hogs raised by an Iraq veteran and on a small family farm. That's why they have that rich color. You get factory farm meat, it's almost white. So this is, again, very simple. Just dice this up into chunks like that. The next thing you're going to do is sprinkle a little bit of flour. If you're worried about the gluten, you could use arrowroot and just get that going. And then a nice heavy-duty pot over medium-high heat, some lard, and in goes your pork. I'm just going to brown this off. Now, in the past, I've said that this doesn't do that much, but what I do like is this kind of makes the flour cooked. It doesn't have a cakey smell by adding, thickening agents later. So you just flour it up, brown it off, and then right in the same pot, a little more lard goes down, then goes your onions. And you just want to give these a little bit of a saute, and then you're going to deglaze the bottom of the pot. And that's the first time you see the hard cider appear, and that's a Samuel Smith's hard cider. Now scrape the bottom of that pan. You want all those brown bits to come up into the liquid, and that's key. If you don't scrape it up, it has a tendency to stay on there, and you're missing an opportunity for flavor. So really get into the corners, and you can tell that pot is really hot, and that stuff instantly went to the boil. So then you just take your meat that you pulled off and get that tossed back into the pot. Then you're going to take your apples and you dump your apples in. And then this is the first time the fresh sage appears. We're going to put some in during cooking and then a little bit later. So add the rest of that cider. That's a 16-ounce bottle of cider. This was 2.5 pounds of pork. So a little salt, pepper is going to go on there. And I already seasoned the pork when I was cooking that with salt and pepper. So you just want to toss this all together, and then you're going to lid this up, and it needs to cook for quite a while because even though you sauteed that, that's pork shoulder, and that's a tough cut of meat. So the lid goes on, and then you're going to cook it 90 minutes, and that's over a very low flame, so turn that down. Then we're going to add the cream, mix the cream through, and you could just tell, man, that's looking good. And because that pot is so tight-fitting, you don't have any evaporation loss. So another 20 minutes, open it up. What I'd like to do is just mince up a little bit or the rest of the sage, and now it's time to bowl it up. And folks, this was incredible. That pork had such great flavor. It made me feel good to eat it. Number one, I'm supporting a small local farmer. Number two, there's no factory farming involved, and that's huge for me. So you can see little bits of soft onions and apples, and the cream and the cider marry together to make an amazing sauce. You finish it off a little bit of sage, and the flavor was a big hit with the family. Everybody absolutely loved it. But I hope this fall-inspired dish gets you in the mood to cook. And that's it. I'll see you on the next video. Take care. So do make sure that you give me a thumbs up on this video and also subscribe to the channel. Lots more content coming at you.